This is chapter 1 of Microsoft Excel. We'll be working on Excel for about 10 weeks, and this is just the PowerPoint presentation of the first chapter. The first chapter will be covering fundamentals of Excel. So this will be a review for many of you, and I ask that you go through this tutorial because there are some very, very nice features that you may know vaguely, and you may need to familiarize yourself with those. So we want to take that time to use chapter 1 as our review. Very, very nice, very easy, but very thorough review. What we'll be going through is examining the value of using Excel to make decisions. We want to learn how to use Excel. Many of you may know how to get into Excel, but some of the details may be fuzzy, so we'll be doing some review. You'll become familiar with the workbook and how to navigate the worksheets, and using the Excel ribbon, becoming familiar with these types of things, and using the access bar. We will examine the right click menu options. There are so many things that you can examine using Excel, but first we're going to begin with some very basic things like examining and getting familiar with the File tab, learning how to save worksheets, and examine the status bar. We'll become familiar with some features in the Help window, which is going to be extremely helpful throughout the course. And we'll be entering some data and getting familiar with entering very basic worksheets. And we'll understand and examine how to edit data in a worksheet. There's an autofill function, which many people don't think about too much, but we're going to talk about that a little bit, and we're going to learn how to delete information and examine data examine how to delete the information from your worksheet in the undo command. We'll examine how to adjust columns, review, hiding, and some other basic functions like deleting and inserting columns. We will also learn how to move information from one area of the worksheet to another. And nothing can be more important than knowing how to format your Excel worksheet. So we're going to enhance the appearance. We're going to learn how to line, add multiple lines, add borders, and why they're there, and then also use the auto sum feature. So first, let's review how the charts are done. We're going to use the copy and paste commands to manipulate data. And again, this is probably more review for most of you, but I would urge you to go through this very, very carefully because there are some skills in Excel that you may not be doing simply because you've been doing it one way forever and ever. So let's open our minds and look at Excel as if we have never used it before, and try to get as much information from it, particularly in the fundamentals chapter, so that we can do our best and we can learn much, much more in Excel. It is so much in Excel. I don't think anyone knows it all. So we'll be examining so many different things. So be open to learning new things if you have used Excel for many years. And if you're new to Excel, don't be intimidated. This is a very easy program, very straightforward program. It's powerful, but you can and you will have lots and lots of help to get you through. Well, the overview of Excel, the main reason why we have Excel truly is because we want to make business decisions. We want to make decisions using it. We're using a mathematical program to gather data, sort data, analyze data, compare data. So when you first get into Excel, you're going to see a blank workbook, and the workbook generally will have more one or two sheets as a default, and you'll that's generally the standard, and you can always change that. You can make it one sheet, you can make it 15 sheets when you first open up. It's totally up to you, but it's already maximized and you're ready to get started. Now again, Excel worksheet, you enter information within the worksheet. It's obviously formatted to have columns and have rows, and the columns will have A, B, C, and then the rows will have 1, 2, 3, so forth, which will allow you to identify what cell you're in at any point in time. Excel's features are all found on their ribbon. The ribbon is an area in our Excel screen that contains tabs, and we will see all of those tabs when we go through Excel just to know what these items are. They have a different command, and using the ribbon allows you to always see what your commands that are available at any time when you're in your worksheet. Quick access toolbar, again, a way to navigate. This is great for navigation. Do this, do that. Make it quick, easy to do certain repetitive type of functions. But in the end, quick access toolbar is just the best thing in Excel. I love it. And the file tab, this is just something that was used in 2007, and it's been, so in 2007 we had this way of navigating through different areas within Office, but the file tab now is here in 2010, and it just allows you to navigate. It's just allowing you to move around, and it's just an upgrade for Excel to make the screen look a little bit better, more efficient use of the Excel program. With all workbooks that you have, you must absolutely save your data. And we're saving the data initially when you first save the data, you'll save it as, and that will give you an opportunity to give it a specific name and to choose a specific location where you want it stored. When we save our data, we normally just accept the default, but there are some occasions where you don't want to accept the default, and that is when you have Excel is being shared by individuals and you have no idea what their level of their Excel version is. And in cases like that, which is extremely safe, you can save your workbook under the 97-2003 workbook format, and it's a drop-down box in the Save command. And generally, as we proceed to 2014 and 2015, this option here may not necessarily be important. But for many years it had been, because more organizations were holding on to their previous older versions of Excel, but now everyone's upgrading to a more recent version of Excel. And just want to make certain that people can use the file and the capabilities are intact. So that's why we're really concerned about that. The status bar is at the bottom, and it just gives you an idea of what's going on, what functions are active in that particular worksheet, and it's just another resource tool that you can use. The Excel help is absolutely the best. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for people like us who don't know every single possible thing that you can ever do in Excel, and will have to occasionally go to help to find out how to do it. The wonderful thing about the Excel help is it gives you step-by-step instructions, so you're never walking away not knowing what to do. And that's the wonderful part about Excel. It's easy to use, and you do have your backup plan, your help, if you ever need it. So let's proceed past these questions and just go right back into the meat, entering data. Obviously, the data, you enter numeric data, you can enter data that's alphabets, so forth. But the main area is the main part about Excel is you can absolutely enter information manually, or you can import it through various other websites or programs. The main thing about putting your information into Excel, which you'll always have to remember, is don't put formatting symbols when you're into the numbers. Just put the numbers in and let the formatting features within Excel add the dollar signs, add the commas, etc. Editing data is another important part. You don't just put information in, you change it, you move it around, that kind of thing. In Excel is quite easy to do. No big major problem with that. It's just a matter of learning how to best edit your data in the most efficient way possible. Deleting information is also something that you'll need to understand, and do not delete your worksheet because it can't be retrieved. But using the undo command is absolutely important, because sometimes you have to go back and redo what you've done and fix it. Adjusting columns and rows and hiding columns and rows is just a matter of visually changing the appearance of your worksheet depending on your particular needs or the needs of other people who will be viewing your worksheet. Inserting columns and rows. Headers, another way to keep your worksheet absolutely easy to understand and read. It definitely provides you a way to describe what the information that they're going to see. And again, it's about the users of the information, helping them to be able to understand your worksheet, follow the flow, and use it for decision making. Moving data is a matter of just cutting and pasting. Again, it's so simple and easy. Um, Microsoft Excel is probably the easiest way to actually do your numerical and your computational type of calculations. However, this is not a calculator. Microsoft Excel is a powerful, powerful spreadsheet program, and it is not under no circumstance a calculator. So we need to make certain that we are not just using it to add 1 plus 1 plus 2, but we use it for purposes of creating documents or workbooks that give us data that we can analyze, interpret, and then ultimately make decisions. So let's get past these questions here, and we're going to go through the printing within Excel. Formatting and data analysis. Again, formatting could be sorting, it could be right justifying, left justifying, centering your cells, allowing your cells to have dollar signs, and those types of things allows you to make the worksheet a little bit better. Column headings and those kinds of things. It's really just a matter of allowing you to make your workbook your own and making it beautiful and easy to understand. The only thing that I want to caution is when you put numbers in, to be certain that your numbers in your space are sufficiently wide enough to cover. If not, you'll have to deal with the pound signs that you'll see, and that only to just alert you that your column is too narrow for a long number. But all in all, Excel is a very usable, very easy program, and it provides users with abilities to I would say compile a lot of information, numerical, quantitative information for data analysis. As you read through the chapter, take a moment to go through and look at the Excel workbook, look at how it's set up, look at all of the different options available to you in the different menus, and get a chance to look at the Excel help key, which I think would be very useful, and see how you can use that when you are working through this course. Read the chapter and begin practicing developing a very basic worksheet. Will be the conclusion of our narrative, our PowerPoint presentation for Chapter 1. And if you have any questions, by all means, look at your video demonstrations and your lesson tutorials as we proceed through this chapter. This chapter will be broken up into 3 sections. Each section will cover a different area, and we will be doing reviews and questions and practice problems with each lesson. And if you have any questions, post them in your questions in the question and answer discussion board, and we will talk about them and deal with them appropriately. Thank you for listening.